And here we are, welcome back to the channel for the latest video on GT7, and in this one we're looking to gain new grid positions as we give you a track guide on this week's daily race A. So click onto your sport mode from your main menu, now click onto daily races, and we're going to click onto daily race A. We're on Sardegna road track B. For this one, we're in the Ford Escort RS Cosworth 1992, a complete classic car that's been recently added to the game. We've not had a chance to race with yet, so we'll give it a go. So in terms of assists for this one, we're running on 0 traction control, counter steer we have off, and ABS we're running on weak for this time trial. Felt a little bit better than default, lets the car rotate a little bit easier on weak rather than default. So onto the lap itself, we're using a P1 Ghost in the world as a reference. Let's come to the first braking point. On the right hand side you can see a red paint in there, a red marking in the barrier. As soon as we get level with that, we're going to hit the brakes. Come across the right hand side as far as you can. Come down to second gear, release those brakes as you turn in, let that car kind of rotate in. Accelerate in third gear and you can really stamp on the accelerator in this car. We're on sports hard tyres, but it is still quite grippy. If it's left-handed, it's absolutely flat out, but make sure that you stay as far on the left-hand side to this curb as possible. Change into fourth gear as you accelerate up, with smooth with the steering, because you can understeer in that corner quite easy. Next braking point, we're looking for that red marking in the barrier again. As we go level with that, we're hitting the brakes, and we're going to stay in third gear for this one. Control brake into this corner. As soon as you get to that curve on the inside in the apex, get an accelerator as early as you can to run up the hill. This reference, we're using the start of the red and white barrier. As soon as that comes out of shot, you're just going to tap the brake, run about 50% of brake, let the car kind of swing in. Again, you need to get brave in the accelerator. It's a bank corner, so you can get on the accelerator quite early, but it's easy to run wide on the exit there, so be careful not to get two wheels in the sand, because that'll ruin your run all the way down to the next corner. Little king to the left hand side, absolutely flat out. Next left, a very difficult one. There's no kind of reference to this, but we're using the end of that Gran Turismo board on the left hand side. As soon as that comes out of shot, we're going to hit the brakes. Come across to the left hand side as far as you can. Drop down to second, but make sure you accelerate into third gear. Gives you the best run up the hill. Even though it does feel slow, it definitely is faster than staying in second there. This next left hand, though, we're looking at the start of the red barrier on the right hand side. As soon as you get level with that, we're going to tap the brake, but it is literally a little tap. And you want to make sure that you get your two wheels to the left hand side of that curb. When this kind of hooks you around the corner, I found if you take the normal line and don't touch the curb, the car would understeer a little bit, so make sure that you're getting two wheels to the left hand side of that curb. For this one, at the end of the curb, all you want to do is start turning into this corner, and this one is absolutely flat out, but what we're doing here is short shifting to fourth gear, just to create less understeer in that corner. But it is flat out if you get it right, but it is a difficult one also to nail that one. The last corner, you're looking for where the barrier turns to like a dark grey colour on the right hand side. As soon as you get kind of level with that, we're hitting the brakes. We're kind of coming off and let the car swing in. And you want to come on the left hand side as far left as you can. You can really mount the curbs, and this, it really doesn't unsettle the car. Make sure on the exit that you're keeping two wheels to the left hand side of that red and white curbing, otherwise your lap will be invalidated, and that's a really difficult corner to get right. For me, probably the hardest corner on the track. If you do get that wrong, you're losing all your momentum on this massive long straight, and also you get a penalty. So come across the line for a 137.716, which at the time of recording actually put us P5 in the world, so a decent time. But we actually got a 0.5 as an optimum time, so definitely more time in that if we nail the lap. Onto the chase cam, just to show you another perspective of the lap itself. Before we go any further, guys, if this does help you at all, please like and subscribe to the channel, where we do a lot more of these track guides, as well as doing track guides to earn you 2 million credits on the online time trials. We also look at doing the circuit experiences as well on single player campaign to earn you big credits for doing literally a lap around a circuit. A few sectors and one lap attack will get you some decent credits. So back to the lap itself. As we come to this right banked corner, a very difficult one to get right. A little tap of the brake, let the car swing in. Could have got a lot tight on the apex that one. Be careful on the exit, it's so easy to run wide on that corner there. Like I said before, we're on sports hard tyres, so This car hasn't got massive amount of power, so grip is fairly decent. But if you do accelerate too early, the car will understeer quite significantly. So, especially in this corner, going on second, accelerating third, you just got to time it right, kind of play with that throttle at the top end. And just keep the revs up and keep that speed and momentum going as well. A lot of this track, a lot of undulation in this track. We've got a lot of downhill sections, a lot of uphill sections. And it is the uphill sections that will lose you a lot of time if you don't get that acceleration point right. Coming to the hardest corner on this track, trying to pick out a braking reference, difficult, but try and cut as much of that inside as you can without running too wide. Do a decent job of that one. And that's the lap itself. Let me know what you guys think of this car and track combination. What do you think of this week's dailies as well? Which one are you going to be going on this week? A, B or C? The daily race B is Red Bull Ring in the GR4 cars. And daily race C, we're looking at Deep Forest in GR3. So again, we're looking at the same kind of tracks for daily races. This is why I fancied having to go on daily race A. Not only because I want to have a go in this awesome car. And Sardegna is not a track that's massively used. Not as much as we look at, the likes of Red Bull Ring and Deep Forest. It seems to be every 2 or 3 weeks. These are hitting the dailies pretty much all the time. Like I mentioned before, we've got other tracks on there that I think were great, good racing. I mean, Broadbean Raceway in Japan. It's a very, very small track, but why do we not use that? We can have that in karts. I mean, that could create some really great racing. And the circuits on here that you'll probably never get to race on. They're in circuit experiences and single player campaign, they're in there, but they hardly ever hit the daily races or the online time trials. So it's definitely something for PD, I think, to think about. Let me know what you guys think of this week's online daily races. And I hope this track guide will help you gain some grid positions if you need it. But for now, I'll leave you with the rest of the replay. Have a fun week, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters.